Man was arrested and charged for being a public.
I feel like I'm in a dream.
They're a fan. Okay, then they're a fan and a loser.
Could Ariana Grande finally break her silence after literally getting grabbed at her own Wicked premiere? Because that video had everyone staring at their screens like, wait, what is even happening right now? Cynthia Erivo jumped in faster than the actual security guards who were supposed to handle it. Meanwhile, Ariana froze with that, I seriously don't know what's happening, but I want to disappear kind of face. And the man who grabbed her? Nope, not some lost fan or clumsy guy who tripped. This wasn't his first time pulling stunts like this. Not his second, not his fifth. This same dude has crashed stages, sports fields, red carpets, you name it, for years. He's been tackled, dragged out, handcuffed, and somehow he still shows up like it's some weird competition. But here's where things start feeling way more serious than just a chaotic red carpet moment. Fans started digging and found a video he posted before the premiere, where he straight up called Ariana his best friend and said he was finally going to meet her. Creepy, right? And he wasn't joking either. He sounded way too excited, like he really believed it.
Look, I feel like I'm in a dream. That's my best friend Ariana Grande, and I'm gonna meet her. Yes, I've been dreaming about that.
Then, after getting arrested, fined, and processed, guess what? He got out and bragged online that he was free again, like it was some fun little hobby. Then everything clicked.
Yes, finally, I dreamed about meeting Ariana Grande, and finally, my dreams became true. Look how cool.
Ariana began her slow, graceful walk down that yellow carpet, smiling for cameras, trying to enjoy the moment. And suddenly, out of nowhere, this man came sprinting in full speed. The whole thing went from glam to chaos in seconds. It looked like this guy was trying to make his grand debut. But what shocked everyone wasn't just that he touched her. He grabbed her, full arm around her shoulders, pulling her in tight like they'd planned a red carpet photo shoot together. It was wild. Then, out of nowhere, Cynthia Erivo came flying in like the real bodyguard. She literally stepped between them, shoved him off, and started yelling, while Ariana tried to back up and catch her breath. Even Michelle Yeoh rushed over, her face saying exactly what everyone was thinking. What is even happening right now? Meanwhile, the actual security team was still jogging over from the other end of the carpet, looking like they just realized this wasn't part of the show. Total chaos. And honestly, it's completely understandable that Ariana was shaken up.
You've been very open about your struggles with anxiety. So how did you overcome all of that and get back on stage?
Well, I think just looking at my fans and the way that they responded to it, and like, of course, the city of Manchester and how they responded to it with so much like unity and strength and love and like fearlessness, and I just never really seen anything like it.
She's been open for years about the anxiety she's carried since the Manchester tragedy. Loud crowds, sudden movements, those moments hit different for her now. So imagine a random man charging full speed, wrapping his arms around her and yanking her in without warning. That wasn't some tiny scare. That was a full-on trigger moment. The instant fans saw his face, the internet exploded with, "Not him again," because everyone recognized him. This wasn't some confused fan making a mistake. This was that same guy, doing it again. Turns out the guy wasn't some random stranger at all. It was Johnson Ween, better known online as Pajama Man. If you've ever scrolled through his Instagram, you already know. This is the same dude who's been sneaking into events for years, documenting everything like he's starring in his own reality show. The second fans realized it was him, everyone rushed online to connect the dots because at this point, his entire track record is practically public record. The first clip that resurfaced, his infamous Katy Perry moment. Somehow, he ended up right next to her on stage, smiling like they'd rehearsed together. Katy looked completely thrown off. The band froze mid-song, security freaked out, and this man just walked away like he'd nailed his performance. Unreal. Then came the weekend incident, and that's when everyone agreed this guy was officially out of control. He didn't just wander onto the stage, He charged in full speed right into the spotlight, like he was meant to sing the next line. Security had to grab him, drag him off, and he was still trying to move forward like it was part of the choreography. The whole audience stood there stunned. Like, how did he even get up there that fast? And the wildest part? He stayed totally calm through it all. Like this was just another day at the office for him. You'd think that would have been enough drama for one person, but nope, he wasn't done. He later popped up at a Chainsmokers event, walking straight onto the stage mid-performance, like he'd bought himself a backstage pass and decided to test it out in real life. Every time he just pushes it further, like he's addicted to chaos. But just when you think this guy can't possibly top himself, it gets worse. He doesn't just crash concerts or red carpets anymore, he somehow pops up at sporting events too, which makes zero sense when you realize how tight security usually is at those places. Yet somehow, he managed to delay the actual 100-meter final at the Olympics. Yes, the Olympics. He sprinted onto the track like he was warming up for his own race and brought the whole thing to a stop. Everyone watching was just sitting there asking the same question. How does this man keep slipping through every barrier like it's nothing?
Oh my God.
Then the football clips resurfaced and people couldn't believe what they were seeing. He's been bragging about it online like it's a highlight reel. On Instagram, he literally calls himself the 2023 World Cup final pitch invader, as if that's something to brag about. And here's the craziest part. He really did it. He actually ran onto the field during the World Cup final. But it doesn't stop there, because the same year, he pulled the exact same stunt at the Cricket World Cup final too. He sprinted straight onto the field, got close enough to touch the players, and only stopped when security fully tackled him to the ground. Like, how far is this guy willing to go for attention? What messes with everyone's heads even more is how normal he acts during all of it. He just stands there smiling, calm, confident, like he belongs there.
Look, I feel like I'm in a dream. That's my best friend Ariana Grande, and I'm gonna meet her. Yes, I've been dreaming about that.
Whether it's a red carpet, a stage, or a packed stadium, he behaves like every celebrity and athlete should just accept him showing up whenever he wants. And then, just when people thought they'd seen enough, the internet found a video he posted himself. And that's when it all took another turn. Right before the Wicked premiere, he posted that now infamous video, the one where he said he felt like he was in a dream, calling Ariana his best friend, and announcing that he was finally going to meet her. He looked overly excited, like in a way that didn't feel normal at all. It was almost like he'd built this entire fantasy in his head and convinced himself it was meant to happen.
But they're a fan. Okay, then they're a fan and a loser.
Creepy doesn't even begin to cover it. And now that he'd actually gotten close enough to grab Ariana, the Singapore authorities didn't waste a second. They hit him with a charge that could land him up to 3 months in jail or a $2,000 fine, or both. Honestly, that sounds pretty light considering how many times he's pulled stunts like this and how much bolder he's gotten each time. The man clearly doesn't learn. While everyone online was still trying to piece together how he even managed to get close enough to touch Ariana, the first person from the Wicked cast to speak up wasn't Ariana, wasn't Cynthia, and wasn't Michelle. It was Marissa Bode. And when she finally said something, you could feel how done she was with the whole thing.
I've talked about this in detail and further extent before on this page about parasociality, especially at things like concerts or just when someone in the public eye is at an event, like people throwing shit on stage mid-performance, people yelling loudly out of turn at concerts during like a sad or slower song just for attention.
Marissa, who plays Nessa Rose in the Wicked films, went straight to TikTok that same night. She dropped multiple videos calling out people who were trying to spin the story, saying things like, "He's just a sweet fan who made a mistake." Nope, Marissa wasn't having any of that. She made it clear that what happened was not okay, and she wasn't going to let anyone downplay it. You could tell Marissa wasn't playing around. She was not buying that harmless fan excuse for even a second. And honestly, it wasn't surprising. She's spoken before about how wild things get when people start treating celebrities like characters in their own fantasy world. People throwing stuff on stage, crossing personal boundaries, and acting like they deserve a moment just because they're in the same room. It's gotten out of hand. This situation clearly struck that same nerve for her. Marissa made it clear that what happened to Ariana wasn't normal, wasn't cute, and definitely wasn't something the Wicked cast was about to laugh off. The energy was serious, protective even. And now, here's what everyone's waiting on. Ariana hasn't said anything. Cynthia stayed silent too. Not a single word from either of them. While this whole situation keeps blowing up louder by the hour, fans are refreshing timelines nonstop, convinced a statement could drop any minute. It honestly feels like we're right on the edge of something big, like a response is brewing. Whether it comes from Ariana herself, Cynthia, or maybe both together. You can feel that tension building, like this story's about to hit another level. And don't worry, when that silence finally breaks, I'll be right here to walk you through every single update. So make sure you like, comment, share, and hit that subscribe button. Because this story, it's not slowing down anytime soon. Something major is coming and you won't want to miss it.